Good morning. Here we are, day 4, right? I believe it's day 4. I wrote it down as day 4. But it's really day 3 of the challenge. I kind of screwed that up, didn't I, when I started a little soon. So first things first, what'd you dream about? Did you write them down? It's a good thing to do that. If you wake up and you have really good dreams, even if you have weird dreams or what you consider bad dreams, write them down. They have messages for you. And as a teacher, I love to learn. And one of the ways I do learn is by paying attention to things like that. Good. So emotional well-being, that's what we talked about. We started with emotional. Excuse me. I'm sorry about this. I do this every morning. I'll start burping or stopping or sniffing. I shove down my breakfast real quick before I jump on here so that I have time to do that. I promise I'll slow down a little bit for you. So we started with emotional and mental well-being. And we decided that emotional well-being was going to be covered first. So we're day 3 of covering emotional well-being. The first couple of days, I asked you to, 1, define emotional well-being, what it means to you, and then 2, set a goal and kind of get an end result. And what is it going to look like at the end for you, right? So that's with any challenge. Now, do we need to make it a challenge? It's up to you. You can get on board and follow the challenge for whatever reason, to improve your mental well-being or your emotional well-being, or you can just follow along and chime in and help others. If you've been there before and you've got some great advice, I'd love to learn that. And one of the things I need to learn about this channel real quick is, can we communicate? Are you allowed to chat on here? Can you chat and chime in on here? I know on Facebook, I see you when you pop up on here. I'd like to know, if you're out there, can you type in a message? And I get it, but I don't know. So if you're out there, do that for me. Just say hi or something, and I'll get it. So along the line of a challenge, what I've got for you today with concerns with emotional well-being. Now that we've chosen what it might mean to us, and we have a goal, and we're going to choose 7 days, right? So it's just 7 days to get somewhere. We're going to continue moving after that, but 7 days is the start. Today or day 1. Now, this is a big one, so it might not happen today for you, but you might be able to make time to do it today. I want you to give one of the rooms in your home where you're at a makeover. Now, if you're a roommate or something like that, and your roommates don't want you changing the house around, stick to your own room or a shelf or a desk, something that you function with every day. And if it's a room, it's better for me, I think. So do a room makeover. What that means is declutter your life. It's not all going to happen at once, but you can start with your desk. You can start with your bedroom. You can start with your living room or your kitchen, whatever it is. Start getting rid of unnecessary stuff. Okay? Then rearrange it. Now, if you're into feng shui, or if I'm saying that correctly, or if you're into, modern architecture or whatever it is, and you want to get really creative, go for it. I got friends that'll, Mr. One of my black belts, I'll stop using personal names, but one of my black belts would go in and probably just demo the whole room and remodel the whole thing. He loves to do stuff like that. You don't have to get that extreme, okay? So challenge day 4, challenge number 3. We're going to stop using the numbers. I think it's just screwed me up. But today, what I want you to do, awesome. There we go, guys. Mike just popped up, and Mr. Motley just popped up. So thanks for letting me know. So today is declutter one room. Do a room makeover. This is for your emotional well-being. What it does, and I don't have to tell you what it does, but it cleans out everything. I mean, one of the things for me that keeps me off balance is clutter. And I am a clutter junkie. What I mean by that is I'm old school, so I don't take notes on the computer. I don't take notes on my smartphone. I write everything down, which means I've got 4 or 5 books already written in piles of paper and notebooks. When I come into my office in the dojo here, you can't see it because I push it all out of your way. I've got piles of work and ideas and just holy crap things. And when I sit down now, it's too much. I don't know where to start sometimes, so I just leave it there and go teach and have a good time, right? Or get on here with you and have a good time. So I'm going to do it too, and I'm going to do it today. Today is my busiest day. I'm going to make time to declutter this office, and when I get home, declutter my bedroom. We have fun. We had our granddaughter for a month and a half, and that's my excuse for letting things go. But, we'd rather spend time together than clean our houses, right? That's more important to me. So the house or the desk or the office becomes the last thing. But for emotional well-being, I know it'll make me feel 1,000 times better to know that my life is decluttered, because our environment is definitely a representation of what's going on up here. I know you didn't want to hear that, but think about that. Our life, our representation of our lives and our mind is definitely represented by our environment and how we take care of that. How's your truck? How's your car? Is it clean? Do you take care of it? Of course we take care of it. But in the back seat, is there stuff from the beach? Okay, so today, that's what I want you to do. I like to share a little bit of a story. Satellite connection is unstable. Did I lose you guys? I had enough. If I lost you, you'll hear it. And if I didn't, you'll be here. But message was up, my connection was unstable. I wonder if a hit on emotional well-being. And there it goes again. Okay, a bit choppy. It's time again. My connection is unstable. Let me do something over here real quick and see if I can get rid of. Do you ever think your cable company or your internet provider watches when you're online and it cuts your power during the hours they think you're not there? I'm not kidding you. I don't know, conspiracy thought. I had time at the off here and online. I turned the internet off. And I wonder, I pay for the high speeds, right? I wonder if they decide we're sending high speed there during this time of the day, it's usually there, but we don't think he's going to be there this early. So let's not send it overnight till about 7 o'clock in the morning to find out. Because if you're doing that, company, knock it off. All right, where we were. Declutter your life, declutter your room, rearrange it, do a room over for us. So that's the challenge for today. Do a room makeover, then report back. How did it go? Did you get it done? Are you still carrying out in black trash bags? I had 7 kids, and I remember growing up in a family, 7 kids. I was the second eldest brother. My stepbrother was 6 months older than me. And we had 4 boys in one room, 2 sets of bunk beds. It was the garage that we had converted, but 4 of us, okay? And our room got messy. And I remember days like today when we were going to declutter, and we would get it in our head, hey, let's because mom's stressed, dad's stressed, let's clean the room for them. Really, it was ours, right? And we would take everything out of the room, everything, and move it into the living room. And I mean every scrap of paper, every dirty clothes, everything, food, plates that have been in there for months, and put it in the middle of the living room, thinking we're doing a great job. Why? Because now our room's clean, and all we have to do is take the stuff from the living room back into our room that we want. Guess what the living room looked like when we were done, if we even got close to getting done in the first place, because we get distracted and go ride skateboards, go chase women down the road, or girls. So, don't do that to somebody else. But that was a funny memory. Matt, my stepbrother, and Paul, you guys remember doing that, man. I'm sure my mom would. My dad, he died, but I'm sure he'd remember too. Okay, moving forward. One of the things I wanted to share with you today about me and teaching and these challenges. And I learned this from our 30-day positivity challenge. And I learned this every day on the floor as a martial arts instructor, okay? I watch the community, I watch people, and I'm growing as a person every day. As a teacher, I love to learn, and I love to share. I love to help people change their lives. And tonight, Mr. Motley, we're going to go live on the martial arts channel. We're going to break down a short 3 for you. I know that was you're one of the people that wanted to do that. We're not going to break the whole thing down. We're going to take it in pieces. But I just wanted to put that out there. So one of the things I've learned about me and teaching is sometimes it's like being a parent. Now, as a 10th degree black belt, and I worked my butt off for that. I taught nonstop for well over 30 years. Well over 30 years. There have been hiccups in my, before that when I was playing music and I was going to college and raising a family and going through some struggles, but I always had a student, always had at least one or two students, and have always run a school. And I learned. I've never stopped learning. I never just learned a few things and then thought I knew everything and went forward and taught just that. I always sought other teachers, people that knew more than me, that could push me to teach me more. And when I learned more things, I learned more about the things I already knew. When you grow like that exponentially, and you pick yourself up to the top of what it is you're doing in an environment of people who are also trying to do that, and I think this is true in anything, you're going to get naysayers and people that want to bash you and pick at you, and because they've never been able to do what you're doing. And they may never be able to do what you've done. And they mock and mimic you. You just got to ignore them, right? Or get them on the mat and show them where they're wrong in our world. And that's not a problem. Okay. However, you start to get an attitude about what you know. I've got one. Okay. And it comes and goes. I'm pretty good emotionally about controlling my attitude with these people. Behind the scenes, I might get aggravated and I might say a couple things and it's over with, because I know that, like I said, now I won't call them names, but they bash you because they're jealous, and they'll never be where you're at. Never. They'll never be where I'm at. And I know that because you can hear it in their words. On that note, when I get an attitude about what I know, I start teaching everything I know about a subject just to show them that I know it. And sometimes that carries through into my regular life, like I'm Superman or something. What I mean is I'll get on the floor and I'll teach something, and I'll teach it all the way from white belt thought process, which is the brand new belt for those of you who have done martial arts, all the way through 10th degree, which is the highest black belt level. And when I teach like that, I leave the student behind. And I've talked to my other instructors about this, the black belts that I have raised that teach. We have to remember to teach at their level, at their rank. Sure, it's fun for us to get out there and spew all the information, the fun stuff that we know, because the more we speak it and the more we teach it, the more we learn about it, right? It comes from here to here, and it's out of our heart, and we learn more. So we love to do that, but we're doing a disservice to the people we're teaching. And I've done that to you. And I apologize. Let me explain. Shoot, here I go. I'm doing it now, and I don't even realize it, but I'm going to keep going, okay? Imagine if you were a parent. If you are a parent, you know what I'm talking about. If you've been around children at all, aunts, uncles, if you guys are a role model for another child, you're going to know what I'm talking about. When you know everything about a subject, it's sometimes not best to share it all at once, or you take the magic away from the learning process and the trip that your student, friend, partner, client will learn. For example, Santa Claus. When we were kids, we learned that, it may not be the same for everybody, but I'm going from what I know, okay? We learned that Santa Claus was real. And do you remember that? It was awesome. You waited for him. You listened for him. Every Christmas Eve, you were listening to the radio show or the television, trying to track him and where's he at. And all year long, no, not all year, but the last 2 months of the year, you were super good because you knew he was watching. And we believed in that. We had this faith and this belief that this jolly old guy was real and he was the spirit of Christmas. Now, I'm not debating the whole, Jesus and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Santa Claus. And your parents, your uncles, they came out, and your aunts, and Santa Claus is real. And everybody bought into it, right? Most everybody. Everybody in my circle that I knew, that I saw, bought into it. And the same when my kids were growing up. I perpetuated that myth. It was fun. And people say, "Well, you're lying to your kids." Well, yeah, yeah, you are. Um, but aside from learning how to lie and your kids picking that up, it was a good thing. The spirit of Christmas was there. Now, imagine if somebody would have came out and said, "You're a little 5-year-old kid or 6-year-old kid, other kids running around, and Christmas is coming, and people are buying presents and stuff, and your parents set you down and said, 'Look, there's this lie going around about this big fat guy that comes down your chimney and gives you presents in the middle of the night. When he comes down the chimney and gives you presents, if you're not good, he's going to leave you a lump of coal.' But really, he's not true." Okay, your mind goes, well, what? And then all of a sudden, it's not true. It's a lie. People are lying to you. And Santa Claus is really just this story that started way back then. And this is how it perpetuated. And this is where we're at. And this is how Jesus ties into that. And this is how this is. All at once at 5 years old. It's like ripping back the curtain of The Wizard of Oz in scene 1. It's over, right? You have not enjoyed the journey. You have not enjoyed the lessons. You have not got a chance to live the magic. You follow me? So when we did learn that Santa wasn't real, how was it? Was it your friends blowing it for you? Did you just kind of grow into the idea? Yeah, I kind of figured. Did you catch your mom and dad doing Santa stuff, not other stuff? Did your mom and dad come out and tell you? You have brothers and sisters, and they ask you to perpetuate it for them and have fun. If that's the case, and I hope it was, the magic grew, right? Well, as you realized that Santa wasn't real, did you feel betrayed? Did you go through that thing, or did you go, I can see why they did this? It might have been a little both, right? But now we're still growing and we're still learning. We lived the magic. We experienced the idea, the passion, the faith, all of that powerful magic. We moved forward into the reality based of it, and our cognitive resources say, yeah, I could have figured that out. And nobody's going to come down the chimney, and how can they get around the world, right? Well, I hope no kids are watching this. Santa's real, kids. Mute this for your children, I guess. I didn't even think about that. Lesson number 2, right? Okay, so let's keep going. To the idea that after you learn about Santa and the real Santa, you learn that the meaning behind the story, the meaning behind the giving, the meaning behind the teaching the kids to hold themselves accountable, and that the idea that giving is better than receiving. I mean, all of that comes back to you in your journey. And you suddenly understand the importance of the true meaning of Christmas and what's behind it. You learn all of the stories, everything that goes with it, including the religious stories, and you learn the importance and the value of that. No matter what you believe in your religion, there's still value in the story. If you listen to the story, even if you're an atheist or beyond that, I don't know what's beyond that, there's value in the stories, right? So you've learned on a path, and you followed the congruent or continuum of the process of the magic. You get to the other side, and guess what? Santa exists again. How? In your heart, in your mind, in your giving. Every time Christmas rolls around, unless you've shifted your paradigm to be stressed and hateful about Christmas, and I know people like that. Oh, Christmas, don't do that to yourself. Don't really. I mean, sure, it's become a commercial mess, but it's not what it's about. And if you carry it differently in your heart, that's never what it's going to be about. Does that make sense? Wow, Christmas in August, huh? So what I learned as a teacher is not to pull back that curtain right away, not to share everything I know about emotional well-being, about mental well-being, about in the martial arts world. I take techniques and tell people, this is how it's taught, this is how it works, this is why it doesn't work, and this is how we change it to make it work. And when I do that, and I'll talk about this tonight, Mr. Molly, I ruin the journey for you. And I understand why the naysayers are out there balking and squawking about it, because I have pulled the curtain back on their Oz. I have ruined Christmas for a lot of martial artists. And I'm going to stop. this stuff. And it's something I learned, and we all continue to learn, I hope. Because a 10th degree black belt, been doing it for a long time, but I just never looked at the damage until we started doing this. And I give a lot of thought to you. As a teacher, I think about my students all the time. And I don't consider you students so much. Oh, good morning, sir. But I do consider, us a community, and I think about you all the time. When you come on here and I see you every day, you're in my thoughts when I go to sleep at night. And I'm thinking, how much you've helped me, and you're in my gratitude statements, and how much I'm able to share with you, and the ability to do this is just wonderful. So if you'll help me, subscribe to the YouTube channel, get some people to subscribe, like and share and talk to me on here. It's really good. I see 2 of you this morning. I hope Sarah's still listening. I hope my wife Sarah woke up, and I hope other people get to see it. I know it's early. I know it is, but it's what I got. It's the time I have. So I think that's it. So today for emotional well-being, as we move, and then tomorrow we're going to start talking about mental well-being. So emotional well-being today, I want you to give a room a makeover. Okay, so give a room a makeover. Get rid, declutter it, and it may not be today. I understand your schedule's probably pretty busy, but try and get it done before the weekend, and let me know how it goes. You don't have to take pictures. I don't want to see that. And please, send me some feedback and tell me what you think. And until the next time I see you, I promise I won't ruin Christmas again. Man, I didn't even think if you guys still believed in Santa Claus. He's real, he's watching you right now. All right. I love you. We're good. And I will see you tomorrow. Is Thursday. So I will see you tomorrow. And I'll give you a little bit of time to wake up. What do you think? I got a student at 7. So it'll either be 6:30 unless I sleep in. Let's just say this. 8 o'clock tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, I'll be on here. And Mr. Motley from the martial arts world, I'm going live tonight on Facebook on my martial arts channel. Okay. So I will see you there at about 8 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, people, have a great day.